The backyard golf course build continues. We have the 2 greens built, and now it's time to grow some grass. Awesome sunny day. I came out early this morning and spun all the greens with the Toro Sand Pro. I put a lot of time in. I took my remaining Rootzone mix, took it to the small green. I had a couple low spots there, filled those in, ran this thing all over it, every which way. I'm pretty sure I'm going with it. We're done. Today is the big day. It's been a long time coming, about 7 weeks, I think, since I started to rough in the subsurface of this green. 14 inches below my feet is just my natural dirt, and then we did the drainage, and then we did the gravel layer, and then we did the sand layer, which we just finished with. And today, if the wind calms down, I'm going to seed this. We've got excellent weather coming for the next 5 days. I actually planted some of this seed when I first got it exactly 7 days ago, and it just popped up this morning. And with the weather coming up the next 4 days or so look really good, so I really want to get this seed down, get some water on it, and just start the clock. I just have a run-of-the-mill drop spreader, so this spreader will drop the seed straight down. It does not broadcast and spin. I do not want to use the broadcast spreader with this seed. It's too fine, too windy, it's gonna be everywhere. Speaking of seed, I will be going with 007 XL. It's a fairly new seed that is the only cultivar I'm putting down. It's not a mix. It's been scoring really good reviews, really good scores on disease resistance, just general color, leaf texture, all that. Seeding rates for a new golf green is about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds per 1,000 square feet. I have at least 2,000 square feet here now with the collar. I have 25 pounds of seed there. That's what I had to buy. It's not a terrible price, to be honest, even though I could do probably 9 holes at a golf course with this. And in 1 pound of Creeping Bentgrass, you have 6 million seeds. So there is 150 million Creeping Bentgrass seeds in that pail. A little bit intimidating. I don't need that many. I'm gonna put down I might put 10 million seeds down, and that sounds crazy. I do not like this wind, so I'm gonna have to really watch that, see if I can get this seed down a little bit later this afternoon. But first things first, I have to get starter fertilizer down anyway. This is sand. This is 80% sand, 20% peat moss. It is a special USGA Rootzone mix, but there's not much in it for nutrients. It doesn't hold nutrients that well because it's only got that 20% peat. So we have to get some food down for these roots, these seedlings. And I'm going to be using 1628. And this is a very small microgreens grade for a golf green. And then I have a little bit left over here of 266 that I'm going to spread down as well. 3 pounds per 1,000 with that. So that is all you need for this green. Put it into the hopper. I have both granular fertilizers spread, and now I'm going to run them over with the Sand Pro. Not gonna bore you with the other green, but I'm going to go down there, do the exact same thing, and then we're gonna wait this wind out. It's a tricky one. It dies off for a few minutes, and then it comes back. So I'm gonna wait it out. I'd love to get it on here when we've got some heat, some sun, but honestly, what's a half day right now? This Creeping Bentgrass seed calls for 1.5 pounds per 1,000 square feet. So I have about 13, maybe 1,400 square feet with my collar. That's pushing it. I'm just gonna go with 2 pounds. I'm just using a fairly basic drop spreader, and what I've been told on this is to just run it closed, basically. You wanna do a lot of passes. You do not wanna put this much seed down in one go because you're never going to be correct. You're gonna be too heavy at the start and too light at the end. Is this thing dropping anything? How am I going to see that? Oh boy. Okay, that is not really dropping any seed. Oh, I should have tested this first. Holy smokes. Is that a seed? There's a seed there. We dropped 1 seed. Why did I rush this? Should have waited till tomorrow morning. I'm in no fear of running out of seed, that's for sure. I don't know if it's moving. We are dropping seeds. That's my setting I need. There we go, I got it all figured out. That drop spreader is actually pretty good. It's very precise, so I kept turning it up to make sure I wasn't running out of seed. And you can see my tracks. I made like 6 or 7 passes. It was fairly boring. I had to turn the camera off. It was so boring. But the seed's down. I've got about 2 pounds there. The wind is still gusting, so I want to go over to the shed, fire on the sprinklers, get this thing a little bit damp, and then I'm going to come in with that Sand Pro, which I think is insane, but everybody does it. The green looks so nice and smooth right now. but everybody comes in with those rough tires, puts all those little checkerboard pattern squares in the green. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard to me. But that's what everybody does. It holds that seed down, packs it down, really good seed to soil contact. We've had full sun today and I want to check the soil temperature. The air in the sun, 73.9 degrees Fahrenheit. That sand's nice and warm. We've got 80 degrees Fahrenheit in that sand after a full day of sun. So hoping we're gonna crack this seed here in maybe 6, 7, 8 days. We'll see how it goes. £4. There we go, the seed is down, the clock starts now. That seed is going to stay moist longer and also buried it a little bit so it's not sitting right on the surface where it could blow away. So that's how you do it. All the golf guys do that. To me, it just looks weird. But once that grows in, the irrigation and then some traffic on top will press that all down. I wanted to check that soil temperature. We're about 72 degrees right now. It's still early enough in the day. That irrigation system almost killed me, but when you see it running, it is so nice. I can cover that full green fairly easily. They don't have to run that long to keep this seed wet. You don't want it wet, you just really want it damp and moist. So that'll be my job now for the next 5 or 7 days. Keep some moisture on this. This was a lot of work, I have to admit, a ton of work. It's super part-time. You can see how many times my clothes change in these videos. I've got a full-time job, I've got a family, we've got stuff going on. So I'm really doing this on the side and it was a lot of work. It's September 27th and I'm above the 45th parallel, so quite north to be sowing bentgrass this late in the year. So that was the huge push. Just get the greens done and then I can move on from there and work out on this fairway. That is the next job. I have absolutely no topsoil on this property. This was an old gravel pit, a quarry, and 60 or 70 years ago, people came in and sort of just stripped everything. This hill was, I think, a huge hill, and a lot of material got taken out of here. So now I'm left with basically this sand and gravel. So for me to get some grass growing on this fairway, that's the next job. It's going to be a huge job. So we're going to start trucking in topsoil here. So as I wait for these greens to green up, I'm going to bring the topsoil in. I want to sow some Kentucky bluegrass this year. I can get away with that in little cooler temperatures. So I definitely want to get some topsoil spread in some areas here because we've got to get that fairway and the rough done. Up next, yep, it's topsoil time.